What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update, or should I say the daily Porro, because once again we're having twists and turns in the Porro saga. We've got a few bits and pieces to get into, but obviously the Porro update will be the main bulk of the update today. But let's get into it, starting off with David Ornstein. This is all from last night till today. So David Ornstein says Sporting Lisbon have approached Brighton about signing Tariq Lamptey on loan, with Sporting right wing-back Pedro Porro getting closer to the Tottenham move. Romano has chimed in with two updates. The first one was positive feelings for Tottenham after meetings all day for Pedro Porro. The deal is really close. Parties are now on crucial details. New round of talks for Pedro Porro is scheduled for Thursday. All parties feel it could be done in the next 24 to 48 hours. And then he did say today that Tottenham are tying up final bits and pieces for the Porro deal. Been told payment terms are now the last step, as €45 million fee could be paid in 3 to 4 installments. Porro has agreed a 5-year deal with Spurs weeks ago. He's waiting, and here we go, is expected soon. I mean, how many bloody round of talks can they do with this deal? It's
more round of talks.
It's nuts.
More talks.
It's nuts. Like, every day is the last round of talks, but there's more talks always tomorrow. I mean, they're locked in talks all day yesterday, all day the day before, and more talks today. Well, what could they be talking about for so long?
They must love each other's company, I think. They just love a good chit-chat.
Bruno Andrade says one of Sporting's requirements in the negotiations is the fullback's presence in the League Cup final on January the 28th. Tottenham have accepted the condition. Tottenham's offer is to pay with the Euros, with the money within the period of 2.5 years, between 3 to 4 instalments. Matti Moretto says the negotiations between Tottenham and Sporting have entered its final phase. Everything can be unlocked in the next few hours. And finally, Dan Kilpatrick says that Tottenham have indicated a willingness to meet Porro's release clause and believe Sporting are now dragging out negotiations. The structure of the payment is still thought to be on the table, with Spurs confident of wrapping up the deal. Tottenham are growing frustrated at Sporting dragging out talks with Spurs. I mean, how funny is it when the boot's on the other foot?
The cheek to be frustrated for, as a Spurs chairman, that the deal's getting dragged out. That's like Chelsea being frustrated that their deals keep getting hijacked. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like they're hijacking left, right, and centre, and then all of a sudden they're getting frustrated. It's unbelievable. It out
all the way until this point, and then Sporting are starting to drag it out because we're not reaching their requirements, and it's like we're the ones getting frustrated.
We drag out every single deal that we do. There's never been a deal that we don't drag out to the 10th degree. Think about Jed Spence.
Dan Juma was pretty
Dan Juma. I bet you that was dragged out. We just didn't even know about it. Jed Spence, that was going on for months. Remember, again, inch here and inch there. That was dragged out for a long time before we finally got him. Spurs are the kings of dragging out deals.
But doing this, all we're doing is inviting Chelsea or someone else to come and gazump us. That's all we're doing right now. Literally, this deal should have been wrapped up weeks ago. And right now we're just inviting, look, whoever wants to come and gazump us, we're right here. We're getting dragged out on details. If you want to meet this release clause, it's right here. It's literally the most easiest deal to do. So if anyone needs a right wing back, here, Pedro Porro is right here for you.
He's ready and waiting. Look, if they're so frustrated, then just bloody meet the release clause and move on. I mean, it's really not difficult. They're going to pay in 3 and 4 installments anyway. So it's not like, I mean, there's going to be fairly decent outlay in all those installments. And, you know, we're announcing record profits. We got a lot of money to spend. So just get the deal done. If this one falls through, I'm going to be super, super annoyed. But look, in all honesty, it looks like it is going to get done by all accounts. I'm very excited by what he can bring.
Dan Juma thought the same thing for Everton. Everton fans thought the same thing.
And to be fair, Romano did give the here we go to Dan Juma to Everton, and that still fell through. Look, I think that Dan Juma deal, that's a one-off, I'm hoping anyway, in terms of a deal getting that close and not going through. You got to remember Lampard got sacked, and that was a lot of big reason why Dan Juma deal didn't go through. I don't see Conte being sacked before the Porro deal happens. Well, you never know, I guess, but I don't see that happening. I just think Sporting are probably looking for a replacement. Apparently, as you say, he wants to play in the cup final. They're probably Spurs are probably, going through every little nitty-gritty detail when it comes to the payment structure. So hopefully these things can all get sorted. I mean, I find it unbelievable they go through 2 days of meetings and they can't get the deal just finalised, done, signed off after 2 days, you know what I mean?
But what if we're in a situation now that Chelsea are going for Malo Gusto? We know the track record of Orlas, the Lyon president. Every time he says the deal's not going to happen, it usually does happen. But what if he's telling the truth for once? What if he is telling the truth on Malo Gusto for the first time in his life, and Malo Gusto does stay at Lyon, and he is staying at Lyon? They could easily go for Porro. And why wouldn't he join Chelsea over us? There's no reason why he wouldn't. He'll probably get paid more wages there.
The only reason is Reece James. But yeah, I mean, they'll probably pay more than us. He gets guaranteed probably challenging for higher things more often, even though we're above them at the moment. There's more of a project right now at Chelsea than at Tottenham. So there's every reason that if Chelsea meet the release, also if they meet the release clause, there's nothing we can do unless we meet it back as well. So it wouldn't even be a choice unless we decide to stump up the cash in full.
Yeah.
So there's every chance that if Chelsea are really seriously interested in Porro and we're delaying because of all these details and Gusto falls through, that Chelsea could easily gazump us if we don't quicken things. We need to make sure that we get this deal done while this Gusto deal was still in the
This deal needed to be done weeks ago, man. Weeks ago. Personal terms were agreed 10 days ago. It's like, come on, guys, what are you playing?
Why does it take till the 26th of January? Why isn't this done 2 weeks? Yeah, weeks ago. Why are we only in final meetings now? I just don't get it.
So frustrating. It's like, what are they talking about for so long? How can you be locked in meetings all day and still not have an agreement by the end of it? It's a joke. The way we do our business
Get it
is an
signed off.
joke. If we miss out on this, I'm going to be super
As
angry.
the Trossard agent said, Spurs came in, wait this, wait that, wait. And look, by all accounts, Dan Kirkpatrick is suggesting it's Sporting holding out, but we know Spurs hold up deals left, right and centre.
Look, at the end of the day, it might be Sporting holding it up at this very moment in time, but we're the one that have been holding it up all this way up until now.
For sure. 100% Spurs have definitely been holding it up. You can guarantee that.
Anyway.
But look, let's hope it does sound like we are going to get it done, and let's hope we do, because he'd be a very exciting signing.
Of course. Let's talk about Jed Spence now. We told you yesterday that Spurs have given the green light for Spence to go on loan. Dan Kilpatrick says today that Tottenham have rejected Brentford's loan for Jed Spence, as the offer did include a purchase obligation. Southampton, Leicester and Lyon are all interested. So I'm happy that we are rejecting deals that have obligations to buy, options to buy attached to it. And I think it's right that we only let him go on just a straight out loan.
I think that's the right thing. I wouldn't give him away with an option or obligation to buy, because if he turns out to be brilliant in the 6 months loan deal, you end up regretting that decision if there's not a big figure at the end of that obligation to buy. And it's only been 6 months as well. And with his potential, I don't think it would be right for Spurs to just sell him after 6 months essentially. So I think Spurs are doing the right thing, and I think also it's insurance in case Conte leaves the end of the season and then the new manager might want to use him. So I don't think Spurs should be thinking about selling him right now, unless there's just silly money on the table, but I doubt there would be, given the little game time he's had this season.
Yeah, absolutely. And with 5 days to go of the window now, I'm sure a lot more is going to happen from now until then. Lucas Moura up next. Marco Conterio claims that Roma are interested in Lucas Moura. The player has already rejected approaches from the likes of Galatasaray. And it makes sense to me that Roma are interested, because he did have his best spell for Spurs under Jose Mourinho. Jose seemed to really like him, and I think it's a matchup that that could benefit both parties.
Potentially. If I was Roma, I wouldn't be interested in him, but I guess we're trying to sell. We're the salesman here. So, yeah, it'd be a great signing for Roma. Get him through the door. Mourinho fancies him. He was great under Mourinho in the central role. So, I think it's a bit of a myth, this whole thing. He was amazing in the central role. I think he had a good few games. I don't think he was ever consistently great in that role, in my opinion. But
I think he had a good few months of being consistently good in that role.
I think we're literally talking about a handful of games here. I don't think we're talking about that many games. But I think he's good. I think on his day he's a good player. I think he's probably had his day. He's now got injury problems, which is preventing him pretty much the whole season being in the squad. Roma are currently, I think, fighting for Champions League places. I think they're a couple points off like third place at the moment. So I don't see someone like Lucas Moura propelling them into that kind of challenge. They probably want somebody who's more available right now. But if Mourinho feels like he can get more back to playing how he did under him, then maybe it would be a good signing.
I think it could work. I really do. I think Jose can get the best out of him, and I think it'll be a good signing for Roma and a good deal for Spurs. So
definitely a good deal for Spurs.
Let's hope something can get over the line. And last but not least, Spurs' new signing, Arnaut Danjuma, will wear number 16 for Spurs for the remainder of his loan until the end of the season. Who has been your favourite? Well, There's been 13 number 16s in the Premier League for Spurs.
13! I remember Gareth Bale was one.
Yeah, can you name any more?
Reto Ziegler was one.
Yeah.
He was number 16. I remember him. Kieran Trippier, he was number 16.
Yeah.
What other number 16s have we had?
Carl Walker-Peters.
Carl Walker-Peters, that's a good one. Where does he rank? We'll see. I think he'll be a very good number 16. What other number 16s have we? I can't remember off the top of my head right
Carl
now.
Norton.
That's a forgettable
Chris Gunter.
Gunter.
Lee Young-Pyo.
Paul
Konchesky. Stefan Everson. Chris Armstrong. Clive Wilson. Rocket Ronnie Rosenthal and Mickey Hazard.
It's not been a great number then, has it? I mean, Mickey Hazard's decent, but 16's not been blessed with loads of talent. But Bale was there.
Stefan Everson and Armstrong were good for a tie. Reto Ziegler, when he broke in, I thought he was going to be a star, Reto Ziegler. And
Gareth Bale.
Lee Young-Pyo was fairly good left back. Gareth Bale and Kieran Trippier. So,
all right, come on, Dan Juma, do the number proud.
yeah, all right. So there you have it. That is your Tottenham update for today. Obviously, we'll keep you updated as and when any news drops on anything regarding Spurs transfers. So keep an eye out for that. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always,
come on, you Spurs.